First things first, we've got to get this out of the way. Caesar's been in quite a few episodes now, and not one person has said, let us eat or you're heavily dressed. I'm just saying, not one single salad joke, 10 episodes. So if you're one of the writers on this, call me. I've got your back. Episode 10, Hail Caesar. Before we do anything, please make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you very much. So we start off with the funeral of Gabinius, and we're introduced to Servius. Now, I said in my previous video that I thought they needed a good guy villain, someone likable but twisted, someone who could counter Ashur. What they've done instead, and what really worked in this episode, is that they've added just a bigger scumbag. And he's hanging dong. He's making everyone feel uncomfortable. He's looking like Chris Tarrant, which once I thought of, I just couldn't unsee. And I like how he pushes Ashur. He makes a point to try and humiliate him in front of everyone, seeing him as low. I do feel like we should have been introduced to him a little bit earlier, giving us more time to build up this relationship. But hopefully, because we still don't have an announcement of season 2. So, we're not really too sure on that. And even at the funeral, they can't help but use this as a ploy for political gain. They're all still trying to set these things up. And I really did love the way that scene was written. They're there to honor him, but they're still trying to get ahead. It really shows through the writing just how scumbaggy these guys are, but it's done so well. I got to say, I've got to address the dong-shaped elephant in the room. The other one, scene where the 3 women walk out. Why is it spiky? If anyone knows, please answer that in the comments. Tarkon had a great little arc. Obviously, to honor his dad, he's ended it with his girlfriend. I did feel like they kind of switched her character a little bit, because she come in and she immediately just started dissing his dead dad, which I felt was a bit bizarre. But we're moving on. And we've got the final Ferox brother. He's now been brought in with another lady to fight. And the reaction when they're like, it's the hammer of the god. And then he comes out and he's just like, oh, fuck, was perfect. The whole fight was great. They should never kill this guy off. He is excellent. It's just in every scene, he steals it. And I wanted to give a little bit of credit to that there. And then we're at the games. So what I thought was the build up to the main fight of the Ludus. And I know they're still discussing having the arena rebuilt. And I love that we haven't just got to that point. These are things that have to be addressed, things that are taken time. So we get to the fight with the Scythian and with Achilia. And it's another thing, I feel like, much like Theocles being introduced, he's sort of mentioned a little bit and then we see him and then he's dead. I feel like sometimes you need time with villains to let them build so that their deaths feel more earned. That being said, the fight starts and it's absolutely insane. Achillia's getting, what would you call that level of beatdown? Like drunk husband, small wife. Can't use that. He does get pasted. So I do love that entire battle. Gets thrown into the crowd, which kind of reminded me of Rocky 3. So she does this like Neo run across the wall. She's getting ragdolled, Molly watch. She's getting absolutely beat. She gets thrown into the crowd. And then we get the little shifts of her back to Calidus. And this is the better point, is what I was trying to make earlier. Her relationship with Calidus, they built up. They made you feel it. You spend time with them building their relationship. So when he died and she's fighting for him, when she's arguing with Tarkon during training, these moments are more earned. And then she puts the shield in her mouth. And what do you even call that moment? The shield in the mouth, she takes the top off like a Pez dispenser. So she beats the Scythian, and that's it. She's done. She wins. She regains the favor of the crowd. So when she wins, we see Sutia sees Ashur kissing, and that's going to be another thing that is, hopefully we get a little bit more into season 2, because I like how much time they've spent developing their relationship, and then for her to see that. And Tarkon, so we're going to jump around a little bit now. I don't think Achilia and Tarkon should have ended up the way they did. I get it. I understand why they wrote it that way. I just felt like you were with his dad. It seems out of character for both of them, and I wasn't really a big fan of that. And I kind of hope that we can just sweep that under the rug and it never gets addressed again. What would you call a head going like that? That's like, what's the opposite of brain freeze? Like a Russian nesting doll. She had surprise open brain surgery because the tongue was flapping.
I wonder if anyone from the production crew kept that.
So I thought that was it. I thought she'd opened up the Scythian. I thought, there we go. That's it. We move on a little bit to later on, and Ashur is talking to Caesar and Cornelia, and they're like, "Thank you for your help, but sorry, it's nothing for you." And Nick Taraby's acting here is fucking stellar. The way he plays this entire scene. I think that when Ashur and Caesar start fighting, and you forget how good Ashur is, because he held up against Gannicus quite a few times. So I thought he was going to need some like dirty tactics, something really dirt in the eyes, pocket sand, anything. But he doesn't. He fights him straight up, even kills two of his guards. Always here for seeing Roman guards getting killed, just red shirts all over the place. And I honestly believe that that final fight might be one of the best fights in Spartacus out of all 5 series. I thought it was gritty, it was nasty, and the way both actors played it was perfect. I do see now why the original Caesar actor didn't come back to be in a handful of episodes just to be killed off, but it worked. The whole scene worked. And what that sets up and the ramifications for what that does to Rome at this point without Caesar and how much of a backlash that's going to bring only makes me want a season 2 more. I do feel like because season 2 still hasn't been greenlit. So even though it's wrote, if they greenlight it, then we're going to end up how long till they start filming to editing to then come back. What I don't want to do if they are doing 5 seasons, 4 or 5 seasons, which the showrunner said that he wants to do, is wait 2.5, 3 years a season. I feel like we don't need to do that. TV series never used to, and then they started to. Stranger Things perfected the art of making people wait 5 years between seasons, and then most shows are slowly going back to 1 a year. That's what I hope doesn't happen. I thought this as a finale was fantastic. Not really too sure where we go from here. Going to pre-apologize. I haven't done any other reviews. I've been working all the hours, so this is it for me. While I'm catching up, I will eventually get back on track. But now Spartacus has gone away for a while. What else are we watching next? That's what I want to know. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.